Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, voice girl, and welcome once again to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, is my co-host who is locked into the Diddy trial just so he can see who has more gray hair. The one and only Big Les.
Hey, you got me beat, bro, because I ain't got done under this thing.
Oh
That's
man.
hilarious. You see, every time you start with some BS. This is how we gonna start out the day. It's okay. It is okay.
Man,
I promise.
I saw a post
Mhm.
that said, if your friend will give you light ribbing to your
Mhm.
face, a friend that gives you light ribbing
Yeah,
is a true friend. They're
that's
loyal.
that's what they
That's
say.
what it is.
That's what they
Yeah.
say. All right,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
All
loyal.
right. Okay.
I
All
got your
right.
back, bro.
You my man. I know. We good like that.
Yes.
I'm still punching your eye when I see you though. I just want you to know that's what's gonna happen. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why are we resorting to violence, Les?
I mean, because I think sometimes you need a good threat to keep you in line. You know what I'm saying? You need a good threat. And if it's not a good credible threat, you just gonna keep going. You just gonna be like, okay, whatever, dog. Gonna blow it off.
Seriously,
okay.
seriously, bro.
That's no,
Seriously.
you all right.
Is it all over this?
See, hey man, it is what it is, dog. It is what it is. Hey, listen. Sometimes you just gotta do things. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But that's a little bit of it. It hurt my feelings.
Oh man.
Feelings.
But you my man. You my dog. I mean
My God, I swear to God. At least it was the day that my head was freshly shaved. Oh my God, man. You see, this is what I'm talking about with you.
Mhm.
This is what I'm talking about with you. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm gonna get
For
you back.
those that are listening on the podcast version, you have to go over to the YouTube version on Manspace Nat 1 on YouTube.
Oh man,
and check that out of what I just posted, what I just put up there. I'm not going to share it on social media, but you have to go to the YouTube version of the show to see this of what I just put up there, or catch it on WTMS TV.
Bang, 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 bang. That's what I said in the eye.
Oh,
right there.
Man.
Hey, I ain't got no lotion on my knuckles either. That's what I'm gonna get on when
it looks like it too. These new glasses, I can see that.
Oh, and you got Super Joe. I'm gonna get you. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you though.
So we are coming off of a Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
How did you spend Mother's Day with Mrs. Les?
Well, man, normally it's reserved for all of the ladies.
Right.
Moms, daughters, aunts, sisters, and somehow they couldn't make it work. So I got roped in the. She was a little disappointed, and I said, "Well, baby, I'll take you to dinner. I'll take you to brunch."
Okay.
All right. And first place we went to, not a table in sight.
Of course not.
Not a table in sight. And I mean, I stood there and I even offered the lady $30 to, sit in the corner over there. With nobody in the corner. Just take that stuff off the table and let me and my wife sit down. You go extra 30. And she looked at me like, bruh, $30 ain't worth it.
Right.
I was like, all right. How long is the wait? 2.5
2
hours.
yep.
I said, no.
Mm-hmm.
So then we took off and went someplace else. I get there. I didn't even go in. I pull up. It's
Mm.
1,500 people standing outside.
Mm.
I kept it rolling. We hit another spot. It had availability. I was like, yeah.
Really?
We get in, get seated. I reached out to my daughter. She came,
Mm-hmm.
her crew. So I had one of my daughters there with their crew. We sit down, we order all our food. Horrible. They need a whole new
No.
kitchen, bro. My wife didn't eat
No.
food. You know what I mean?
No.
Bruh, my bill was $120. The
No.
best thing about the meal was her drinks,
Mm.
you know? And
Wow.
I had fish and chips. The easiest, when I go to a restaurant, I don't know you. I
Yeah,
haven't
right,
been
right.
there. I order
Fish
something
and
very,
chips is
very
yeah,
simple, so you
yeah.
can't mess that up. Fish and French fries, bro.
They messed up fish and chips?
Bro, it wasn't
Did they at least have malt vinegar?
no,
No
no
malt
malt
vinegar.
vinegar. The French
Oh,
fries was hard. The
mm,
coleslaw
mm.
was warm and dry. How do you
Oh,
get
how do
that
you be
from
warm
coleslaw?
and dry? Oh my.
Bruh, tell me about it.
Mm,
And then
mm.
my wife's meal was some chicken panini Alfredo, whatever crap that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So I was wondering why she wasn't eating it, right?
Mhm.
Because she loved pasta and stuff like
Right.
that. And I'm like, damn, you ain't eating none of your food. So we end up taking it home. I get home later at night. I get the munchies because I only had three little
Yeah.
bitty pieces of fish, right? That's all I
Mhm.
ate. I go grab one of them big chunks of chicken and I bite it and I was like, oh my God, now I see why you didn't want this.
Oh man.
So I told her, I said, I got you. I owe you a dinner,
Mhm.
right? I owe you. So the next day I cooked her dinner the next day,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
she was good. We had a
Okay.
what do you call that? Uh I did some steaks with baked potatoes and broccoli. And I
Okay.
just made a loaded baked potato with the
Okay.
steak and the broccoli and cheese and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
that's right up her alley and
Okay.
mine. So she
Okay.
enjoyed that
Mhm.
and she was good, you know. But
Good.
yeah, so
Good.
next year I ain't going nowhere. And
Bro, you got to make reservations, man.
I ain't even making reservations, bro. I'm sick
Bro.
of restaurants. Can I talk on that for a minute? If you are a restaurant worker, manager,
Mhm.
general
Mhm.
manager,
Mhm.
what happened after COVID?
Wait. Do I need to let you grind your gears?
Yes, let me grind my gears, bro. Let me grind.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're a fast food or restaurant worker. What happened after COVID? After COVID, it seems like every single restaurant is falling off. The quality is not there. The portion size is not there. Sometimes the food is not even hot. I don't understand it. Somebody please help me. Please help me understand this. Because I'm done with spending money in restaurants. And the food, the options, everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. It's upsetting. And then I'm paying premium prices for your food. Stop it. Give me something good to eat for my money. That's it. I'm done.
Ah.
That's upsetting. It's very upsetting.
It is. It is very upsetting. Very upsetting.
Very upsetting. So,
I I went you know, I did make reservations for
yeah.
me and the missus.
Mhm.
Um, so my birthday was last week as well.
Yep.
So we did something for my birthday, and then Thursday I
Mhm.
turned it and said, okay, I'm gonna start treating the missus, right? So I,
Mm.
I got her some roses. I gave her some roses Thursday morning. I
Yeah.
cooked chicken and waffles for dinner that night.
Look at
Um,
you.
I know, right? Friday, we went out to this new restaurant in town.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Great food was amazing. Right.
Mm. Yeah.
Saturday, I forgot what we did Saturday. But gave her a few little things on Saturday.
Mhm.
Sunday, made reservations at a Brazilian steakhouse.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like I knew she wanted seafood. She's a seafood lover,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
not find reservations at anywhere before 9 p.m.
That's crazy. On a
Yeah,
Sunday night, 9
on a
p.m.
Sunday night, 9 p.m.
Right.
So I'm like, no, we're not doing seafood.
Mhm.
So we went downtown, nice Brazilian steakhouse restaurant. I've never been there. She's never been there.
Mhm.
But let me tell you, we was in that joint for about 2 hours, bruh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
I am a fan of Brazilian steakhouse.
They had
Yeah.
these chicken fajitas
Yeah.
that were wrapped in bacon.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not even a bacon
Yeah.
connoisseur,
Yeah.
but
But
that was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. They
had
are. Yeah.
they had garlic steak
Yeah.
wrapped in bacon,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the grilled pineapple.
I'm going. I'm going. I'm going.
Oh my, bruh.
I'm going.
It's me and my wife and one of my sons, right?
Yeah.
Grilled pineapple. Dog, we had to bring him back to the table to get more of that grilled pineapple. Like I went to Sam's today
It got
and
you
got
some
me a
butter.
pineapple because I'm gonna go out onto the grill after I have work tomorrow
Yeah.
and grill this pineapple because
Yeah.
it was grilled to perfection, and then
Mm.
they dusted it in cinnamon,
Mm.
and it enhanced all the flavors. The
Was it cinnamon
warm
sugar or was it just cinnamon?
No,
It was
cinnamon.
just dusted, salt, baby,
Yes,
sugar.
yes.
Was the cinnamon, baby? Just that's what it was.
Cinnamon Bay, bruh.
Mm.
It was amazing. It was
See,
absolutely amazing.
and look at that. The same weekend, doing the
Mhm.
same things, but two different outcomes.
Yes, yes.
It's all right. The next time, it's gonna be Chef Boyard Big Daddy up in that
Right.
bad boy.
But let me tell you though,
Mm.
watch what happens Father's Day.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't need reservations
yeah. You can
when
just
you
get
go
in anywhere.
Father's Day.
Yeah,
Anywhere,
yeah,
anywhere, bro. It will be wide open. The
yeah.
longest line you will probably see will be at McDonald's, and I would
Goodness.
say Chick-fil-A, but it's on a Sunday
It's
because
on a Sunday.
Chick-fil-A
That's
will be
right.
closed. So McDonald's will probably be the longest line that you will see on Father's Day. The
Yep.
rest of the time, you know what? Where all the dads will be in the backyard
In the
grilling,
backyard grill.
cooking
Not me
their
this
own
year.
meal.
Not me this year. You know why?
Last, yeah,
Because my wife's birthday is right after Father's Day. I planned a trip for her birthday.
nice.
So guess what? I will be someplace on the beach with my claws in the sand with a nice drink talking about happy birthday, baby. Cheers.
That's the way to do it, bro. That's the way to do it.
Hey, listen, sometimes you got to look out for yourself too when you're doing something for others.
Bruh, last year for Father's Day,
Yeah.
my wife took me to this really nice restaurant, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Dog, there was 6 people up in there, and 2 of them was working there,
Bruh.
bruh.
Walked right in, got seated, got
And this was like
appetizers.
we went in there. We went in there about 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Right in the dinner traffic. Wasn't nobody up in there, and
Yeah.
then nobody came in after. And
Right.
this is a very very nice restaurant. I
Mhm.
could understand if it was a little suspect,
Yeah.
but it was a nice restaurant.
Well, you know what they do. Oh, we're gonna cook for you, Dad. You know,
Yeah, no,
nah.
no,
Everybody want
no.
ribs, and yep, we want your famous ribs and
Right, right,
chicken.
right, 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 right.
Yeah. Kitchen shut down this year, boy. It's gonna
So
be
I
wow.
remember in when little Russ was in elementary school,
Yeah.
they made these ties for
Mm-hmm.
dads, right? So it was donuts for dad and muffins for mom.
Okay.
But they made these little cardboard ties, for the guys, right? So
Yeah.
I kept mine for you. I still have it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every now and then I'll just throw it on. It's just, it's a little string around the neck. And so they made hats for the moms out of paper mache, right? And so they
Yeah.
did, of course, Father's Day is during summer breaks, right? So school's
Mm-hmm.
out when Father's
Right.
Day
Right.
hit. So they did muffins for mom, and then 2 weeks later they did donuts for dads, right? So the
Yeah.
dads came in. I just remember one of the dads saying to me, "At least we didn't get any of those ugly A hats." that the mom got.
Hey, but it be like it's sometimes just you like we just get the short end of the stick, man. You know what I'm saying?
That was one time that
That
I
y'all
think
made
we
it
were
out.
good.
Yeah,
We were good.
yeah,
I live with the time, but that hat was ugly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would take the time too. Let me get one, please. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way I want that ugly
Hey,
hat. You know,
yeah, man.
and we real funny acting about hats too. Come on now,
Mhm.
you gotta have.
You read about that.
Yeah, we real funny acting about them, boy. Oh my god, man. So what
Oh,
else you been into, brother?
man, I watched Hollywood Shuffle the other day.
Did you? I haven't seen that in
Yes.
so long, bro.
It's on Prime Video.
Really?
Yes.
I tell you one you probably hadn't seen in a long time too.
What's that?
I Pudding Time.
Oh man, I got that
Pootie
saved.
Tang.
I don't have my DVR anymore. Doggone
Yeah.
it. I actually have that on my computer here.
Did you? Do you?
Yes, I
Yeah, I
have it on a
seen it.
hard drive.
I see the two flipping through. You know, I saw it. I was
Yeah.
like, man, should I watch this? I ain't got time for it today.
Oh,
But now
God.
you bring up Hollywood Shuffle. I'm gonna have to get me a nostalgia day.
Yeah, man.
You know,
And after that went off, like there was "Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood"
yeah,
was
yeah,
the next video that was up there. So I'm like, that's
yeah,
gonna be my next go back and watch. But Hollywood Shuffle, man, that movie, it's so many good scenes in that movie, man.
yeah. They did a
But
great job, man, with that.
yeah, man, I'm such a fan of Robert Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that his daughter is playing on The Neighborhood right now.
Is she?
Yes, his daughter is Marty's girlfriend, baby mama on the show. They're not a couple,
No.
but they're
Oh, but
friends
they
with
had the baby
benefits.
together. Right. They're friends
They
with
had the
benefits.
baby.
They had the baby
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Yes. So
Mhm.
that's Robert Townsend's daughter. I did not know that right away.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big
Okay.
fan of Robert Townsend, man. And
Yeah.
usually anything that he's in, I will watch. But Hollywood Shuffle, if y'all have not seen Hollywood Shuffle, man, Space Nation, go back and watch that movie. It is hilarious, man.
It's not for everybody, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's not for everybody, but still, I think that anybody who watches it can, if you can watch that whole movie and not laugh, you don't have a funny bone.
Yeah. Something wrong with you.
Something wrong with you,
Something
man.
wrong with you, my boy.
Yeah, I mean, my man coming to Tommy. You gifted my brother, man.
Oh my god.
That
Yeah,
movie's
it was
hilarious.
it was some hilarious portions to that.
Yeah, man. But
Sure.
I'm getting ready to start a boycott on CBS, man. I'm gonna
God.
finish watching The Neighborhood. The Neighborhood is gonna come up in their last season this fall.
Yeah.
And they were gonna have a spinoff show of The Neighborhood. They canceled the spinoff already, so they're not even gonna do it after they said they were gonna do it. It got you
Okay.
kind of excited for the direction they were gonna go, and they said, no, we're not gonna do that. So they canceled that, and they ticked me off because they canceled Papa's House with Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
That show had it started slow.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna get us a shot. I'm gonna hang in there. Right. Just because I know Damon Wayans shows typically start slow before they hit their stride.
And they get
Everything.
better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they get better. Like My Wife and Kids. It
Yeah.
started slow,
Oh
and then it
God.
got its
And
stride.
it became a blockbuster.
Monster. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when it first started, I was like, I can't watch this. And
Mhm.
because it came on at the same time that Bernie Mac show came on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, nope,
Yeah. I
I'm not
gotta
gonna
watch
watch
Bernie
this. I'll
Mac.
watch Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but my wife and kids became one of my all-time favorite shows.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
the
It
other
was a
show
very
he
good
did
show.
where he was a cop. I can't think of the name of the show. It may have been
I think that
Damon's
was
yeah. It
not
may have just been
Shaft.
called Damon. No. It was a TV show. It was a
Was it
TV
a TV
series where he
show?
was a cop. Yeah, where he was a cop.
Mm.
Started slow, but
Yeah.
got fairly decent. It didn't last but one season, maybe
Yeah, that's
two.
probably why I
But
ain't seen it. Yeah. Or
Parker's
why I can't
House,
remember it.
like the last maybe 5-6 episodes were so hilarious of that show.
Yeah.
Like it got to the point like that was appointment watching for me and the missus on Monday nights. Like
Mhm.
that show was that good to us. And
Yeah.
the fact that CBS canceled that show, yeah, I'm about to flip
Well,
y'all a peace sign, man.
yeah, well, you know, everything ain't for everybody. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's sad.
Look,
It's sad.
do you have a show that ended and you just had that disappointing feel? Like, gosh, this ending sucked. Like you
Uh,
wait for this, you're just not even just sucked, but just overall. I mean, because the one that always gets talked about is The Sopranos.
Sopranos did suck.
Mm,
The ending of that did suck. Could have went a whole lot different ways.
yeah.
But you know, I'm not a series watcher.
Right.
So I binge watch. You know, it is
Mhm,
still a series, but I binge watch it,
yeah,
right? So it has a different meaning for me with at the last, you know, like
right.
there's a couple of them that I watched. Like my daughter and I, you know, we watched some it was some show called A Sweet Tooth, you
Okay,
know,
I don't
but
think
it
I've heard of that one.
yeah, it's not on TV, it's like on I don't know, I think it's on Prime or something like that.
Mm,
But we watched that and I think we both were disappointed in how that ended.
yeah,
But you know, and they haven't come back.
yeah.
So, you know,
Dexter was one for me. How it
yeah.
ended, and and they brought it back a couple years ago,
Mhm.
and we watched maybe like one of the episodes and never
Yeah.
finished it.
Oh, the new Dexter.
Uh, the new Dexter, and then they went back and did a prequel. We never watched the
Mhm.
prequel, and it's supposed to be coming back this fall with
Mhm.
another season of the new show again. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I can get back into it anymore because I think it's lost its mystique with me.
Yeah. I'm just
Um,
not, I just can't tie myself down to every week at a certain time to do
yeah.
something, you know,
Game
besides
of
this.
Thrones.
That's it. This is
Yeah,
besides
yeah. I got you. Game of Thrones was one for me that was so
um
disappointing to me at the end. Like I don't even want to see any of the spinoffs because I was that disappointed with how the show ended.
well, I watched all of House of Dragons.
Okay. I
Um,
have not watched a single episode of that.
yeah, I watched all of that. And you're right. And the Game of Thrones. Well, you know, the House of Dragons, I think, was a prequel too.
Prequel, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the actual uh you know, the
Right.
other series.
Mhm.
But when I was trying to watch the series from the very beginning, I was involved, I was engaged.
Yeah.
But when they threw the little person in the prison on the side of the mountain, right?
Yeah.
And it was open, that was the last time I watched it until I could
Mm,
watch the whole thing because it drug out so long. And it
right.
was just like, bleh. I lost
Yeah.
interest immediately. But
So
I went back
for
and watched it from
me,
the beginning all the way through.
I did not want to watch it in the beginning. I was like, this is
Mhm.
some nerdy BS. I don't want to watch this. I'm not paying attention to this show. I'm not gonna do it. Um, I would hear guys at work, and all the guys at work would just be talking about it. And I'm like, nope,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
watching it. I'm not watching
yeah.
it. Nope, not doing it. And one of my sons, he got deployed to Iraq.
Mhm. And
And
he watched
so
it.
Well, I got a DVD.
Hmm.
I put not a DVD. I got a hard drive and I filled it with a bunch of movies and TV
Hmm.
shows,
Hmm.
which the guys at work had all of Game of
Yeah,
Thrones on there.
right.
So I put like 5 seasons worth
Hmm.
of stuff on there
And he was
so for
hooked.
him to watch.
Yeah,
Well, I sat there one day and I started watching it because
yeah.
and I started binge watching and I couldn't
Hmm.
stop
Yeah,
up
yeah,
until the
yeah.
point when the guy was trying to avenge his sister's death
Hmm.
and he was fighting the mountain and he was starting to win and then the mountain grabbed him and smushed his head.
His head. Yeah.
I was so disturbed that I cut it off. Like I didn't watch, like I was binge watching where to the point where I was watching like 4 to 5 episodes every day.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would come home from work and I'm watching this show
yeah,
every day. Up
yeah,
until that point, I did not watch it for months. I was so disturbed.
yeah. But
And I was, yeah, that messed me up. But I eventually went on and finished it. And I'm just like, I was so disappointed by the ending. But one last show that got me that I
yeah,
was disappointed by the ending. It's an older show,
yeah.
Sister Sister.
Really?
I was
Yeah.
disappointed. I didn't know how it ended. I didn't remember. So just recently, I was
Hmm.
watching a channel and the show was on. So they had like a marathon, and I was sitting there watching it. I was like, I've never seen how this ends. So I'm gonna watch the last season of it.
Yeah,
And I was so disappointed.
really. I
Yeah.
don't even remember it. I don't.
Lisa marries somebody else and moves out, and the girls go away. They get jobs and go on about their business, and Ray is just left at the house by himself.
Oh,
Yeah, it ends with
okay.
Lisa's wedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, yeah.
Lisa gets cold feet,
Uh-huh.
and she runs off, and Ray finds her and convinces her to go back and get married, and
Yeah.
that's how it ends. And
Oh
I'm just
well,
like, what the heck?
I yeah.
Yeah,
Sister was. I mean, I watched it here and there,
yeah.
but it wasn't, like
You
that.
know
Like
you watched. You know you watched it.
Tia and Tamara. Yeah.
You know you watched that show.
Tia and Tamara. I know who they are. That's for sure.
Uh,
But
bruh.
it is what it is.
On that note, let's go to break, man. Fellas, let's talk about something that's very, very important. It's time to trim the hedges and tidy up the terrain because presentation matters. And the folks at Manscaped know exactly how to help you keep things clean, smooth, and frankly, a little bit heroic. Whether it's with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, with skin safe technology, or the crop preserver deodorant for yes, down there, or that ridiculously fresh, refined cologne, Manscaped has turned men's grooming into an art form. No nicks, no snags, no excuses. And right now, because we here at the Manspace Podcast love you guys and your grooming habits, you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you use our code TMSP20 at manscaped.com. That's TMSP20 for 20% off and free shipping. And if it's free, I'll take 3. It's time to level up your grooming game and treat yourself like the legend you are. Get Manscaped because confidence starts below the belt. You're welcome. Big bro.
Yes, sir.
Man, our episode last week with Chris Gillis was very, very strong.
Yeah, very, very
And
interesting.
it got me thinking a little bit more, kind of where we were prodding, because you talk about the type of clients, the type of men that would actually go and seek his help, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When we talked about the alpha male versus the masculine male, or the bad boy versus the good
Good
guy,
point. Yeah.
the alpha male is not the one that's going to go seek his help.
No,
It's going to be
not at
more of
all.
that masculine male,
Mhm.
the man that's the gatherer, not the hunter,
Yeah.
the protector, not the hunter,
Yeah.
right? And it
Mhm.
just got me thinking about the good guy. And then I ran across this video that I want to share with you here real quick.
All right.
Women. When a good man withdraws into silence, it generally means two things. First, he may be exhausted from repeating himself, voicing his concerns countless times without actually being heard. Or second, he may be on the verge of giving up, not just in a literal sense, but also in the depth of his spirit. A good man who feels unappreciated begins to disengage emotionally. Psychologists call it emotional detachment. I simply say, he's tired. When his requests are only met when they align with your desires and logic, the relationship eventually fractures. This is why he no longer asks you to help him with anything. Please understand this. When a good man stops speaking, it's not just his words that are gone, it's his hope in your future together. Recognize his silence for what it is, a chance to act.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm. I think that has some truth to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's.
Do you say that that's any man? Do, I
I
would
think
even
it's some
go
men.
further. Do you think that that can even be women as well?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely. We talked about that once before.
yeah,
House
you
stopped
know,
getting clean, meals stopped getting cooked, clothes stopped getting
right,
washed. You know what I
right.
mean? Just not into you anymore.
Hmm.
Silent. That the men go through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I And I get his point, because he's talking about it as a man. He's talking
Yeah.
about it from a male perspective.
Right.
Same way we do every week. We talk about it
Mhm.
from a male perspective. However, we do try to see the other side and say, yeah, there's women that go through the exact same
Right.
situation as well, too, right? Um, but when it comes down to the quote unquote good guy, right? The
Yeah.
good man, because that's the one thing that we hear a lot of women, not every woman, a lot of women say there's no good men out there,
Right.
or there's no good men available,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. We hear it. We hear it.
But you see a lot of men who are so-called the good guys
Yeah. Available.
become, I wouldn't even say that they're available. I think a lot of the good guys are taken.
You think so?
Um, yeah, I think that a lot of the good guys are already taken. Because when you're in the early phases, right?
Mhm.
The 20s,
Yeah.
18, 19,
Yeah.
20s, 21, 22, 23, you may be a good guy. The good guy may be 1 in 10.
Okay.
I'm
See,
just throwing a number.
I
I have no statistics in that.
okay, all right, all right.
I'm just throwing a number out
I
there.
think it's a little bit higher
Mhm.
because generally what happens is you start out with good intentions and then you turn the other way and then you don't know how to come back
I,
to
I
it.
I would say that it's, you might, your high school teeny bopper days. I think high school, you have the
You
good
start with
intentions,
good
right?
intentions.
And if you have
Yeah,
not secured it in your high school days to where you're going to be with them for college, once you hit college, it's a whole different world, because you're not under your parents' roof.
you turn
And
into the villain.
yeah. So that's where I say, that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Mhm.
you're pretty much, it's 1 in 10 that you're going to find is that good guy. The rest of them, and they're,
Come on, give us a
it,
little bit more credit. Not 1 in 10. Give us two. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Okay, 2 out of 10. All right. 20% instead of 10%.
That's it. Let's
Right?
give it
It's
20.
still failing. It's still a failing grade.
We're getting F's all day, but go ahead.
All day.
Yeah.
But when you're that young, you're typically not looking to settle down. You're
No.
and especially when you get into that college age, right? You're on campus. You're trying to experience life because especially when you get out from under your parents' roof for the first time,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't have somebody that's
Yeah.
laying your clothes out for you,
That's right.
cooking your meals for you.
Telling you
You
what
got to
time to be
do all this,
home.
right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
now have all this freedom that you didn't
Mhm.
have, and so you're starting to experience life. Men and women, they change a little bit when they go through college, right?
Yeah, they do.
That's why I keep the numbers low. So when you get to 24, 25, 26, you still haven't gotten out of that phase from your college days yet. You just now have, hopefully you have a job and you're trying to
Yeah.
establish yourself, right? And you
Not
haven't made a mistake that's bad enough to the point that you got your
that you
kid on
got.
already,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
know?
I say this, man, is you got to go through something. You got to go through it. You got to walk through whatever it is, and sometimes it changes you and sometimes it makes you better. you
Mhm.
know I don't know. I was out there chasing, doing whatever I could that age. you know I
Yeah.
was I was a bad kid, real bad. I was a bad boy. I was in the 80%. That's for sure. I was 80%.
I was in the 20.
Yeah,
I would say I was in the 20.
yeah,
Now, did I go through my phases? Sure I did. But
yeah.
usually that came, but that didn't last very long because I was never
Mhm.
one that was gonna be in the clubs. I went from time to time, but it wasn't my thing.
Yeah,
I didn't like all that, right?
yeah,
I wasn't going out there drinking all the time. I would have a drink every now and then, but I didn't like all that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wasn't really my scene. So I did, you know, I've heard women that I've dated
Mhm.
that they've said, "I could never say anything bad about you."
Really?
Yeah.
I probably only got one. That's the one I married. I don't know. I worked real hard at it. You know,
Yeah.
maybe a couple, two, three. I don't know, but still, the rest of them can definitely say something. Oh, me.
What do you think happens to the good guy to where he would shut down?
Not appreciated. Undervalued, not appreciated. Dogged out. You know.
I sat there and I watched all these videos that talked about, oh, the man is supposed to do this for the woman,
Yeah,
and it's men that are saying these things, and
yeah,
this is how you're supposed, it's my responsibility. That's
yeah.
tiring, dog. There's a give and take, and there's a reciprocation
But see,
that needs to happen, and
that's a
yeah,
grown man's thought process.
right,
You right? These little boys are all we do is oh,
yeah,
this is a relationship and it's two people coming together for a common goal.
hmm,
We both got our parts, both got to
right,
do things, you know.
right,
Just
yeah,
to,
yeah. I mean, it really it drains on you, and it's the cup theory, right?
yeah, half full versus half.
If I pour into this cup,
Hmm.
eventually it's going to overflow, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It will overflow, and that's what you want. You keep pouring into a cup for it to overflow, so you're living in abundance, right?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Yep.
But if I don't pour into that cup anymore, and I'm drinking for the cup, and I never refill it, it's eventually going to run out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what happens, and it's both sides, right?
Mhm.
From the man side and from the woman side. You got to pour into each other. You
Yeah,
can't just
absolutely.
be the
Yeah.
one doing all the pouring, and that's so many men get caught up with the idea of it's just well, the only thing she has to offer me is sex.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's her responsibility.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't need to get
that's
married
not
for
it.
that.
Yeah, you ain't got to get married for that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to get married for that.
You know,
However,
I
it's
I know Bible thumpers will come after me on that
I
one,
was just getting ready to say,
but
however,
however, but
yeah,
yeah,
it, we both want to say something that we have to recalibrate. But
recalibrate.
yeah, we have to recalibrate. But that's not the only thing. In a real relationship, sex is only a part of the game,
Hmm.
right? It plays a part, and to some people, it's a huge part, and to some people, it's a part
Right,
because there are other things too that are just as important in a
right.
relationship that you need to build a foundation on it and build,
Hmm.
and be able to walk through these things together. You
Right.
can't come in, what do you bring to the table
Hmm.
type situation, you know, no,
Right.
we are the table.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
That's what I was about to go. I was just watching a video where it's talking about, oh, I can't expect her to bring anything to the table because she is the table. It's my job to add stuff onto the table. Get the
Mm,
heck out of here.
yeah, yeah. It
Get the heck
sounds
out of
good
here.
when this sounds good when these guys with no experience in relationships,
Right,
longevity, speak these words because
right.
they think that this is the way it's supposed to be. But
In 3 years, when she taking half of everything you got,
because you ain't putting nothing else on the table.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Or the
right.
table, the table is weak, my boy. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
You got to have a real
yeah.
foundation under that table. That table is two
Hmm.
halves coming together and making a
Right.
strong table.
I saw this post from this man who he's 40 years old. He's a
Mhm.
lawyer. Um, Before he met his wife, he already had him a $1 million house, nice cars,
Mhm.
whole works as a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Met his wife, 7 months, proposed to her, they got married. They were together for 7 years. So,
Hmm.
and now she wants half of
Yeah.
everything that he earned. And this is stuff that he got
Prior.
before.
Prior. Yep.
Right,
Yep.
right, right, right. So that's the type of things that if she's not bringing anything to the table to feed back into you, that's where that ends up.
Exactly.
It
But
gets tiring.
and
It gets old.
and all relationships aren't like that. That's just one
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
But I get it though. It gets tiring. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And what else do you do?
Right,
What else do you
right.
do? You know what we end up doing? Going to lay up on some other woman, crying about the woman that we got.
Because you know what she's doing? She's sitting there telling you, oh,
It's
it's
oh baby. Yep.
because you get that false sense that, man, maybe
Yep.
the grass is greener over there.
Yep.
When it's really not. It's not.
Bunch of
It's
brown tumbleweeds.
it's right, right. I went
Yeah.
out I
And
went
but
outside to cut grass today. I'm just sitting there like, man, yard looks good when it's cut, but when you get past that shed over there, you see all them
yeah,
brown spots. Like, yeah,
exactly.
no, mm-mm,
Exactly.
mm-mm.
And guys fall for that trap all of the time.
All the time, all the time,
All of
all
the
the time.
time.
And it's not, you know. So we're we're watching Beyond the Gates, okay,
Yeah.
and I am trying to decide on if I'm going to continue watching this because it's on CBS right now. Because I already got my little rant about CBS and ticked me off,
Uh-huh.
but there's a character on there.
Hmm.
Um, Him and his wife have been married for over 20 years, right? He had an affair probably in the first few years. They were
Hmm.
having some problems. They weren't very close. She kept having miscarriages. There was a lot of issues going on during that time frame, well before the show ever started. but he cheated on her during that time frame,
Mm.
got another woman pregnant.
Mm.
He thought the woman had an abortion,
Mm-mm.
and now she shows up and she's
Got a
bringing
baby.
this kid back into his life, right?
Mm.
Right? And basically just destroyed his marriage, right?
Whew.
This
Yeah.
guy, everybody was like the standard. Oh, I want to have a marriage like yours. This is because he was the good doctor. He was, just a loving and caring husband.
Go
He
team.
made
Yeah.
right, right. So everybody's like, how can the good guy like him be? I was so wrong about him. How can he just be such? I mean, he's talking about something that happened over 20 years ago,
He's a man.
right? I don't want to group it like that
I'm
because
just saying. I know, but I'm saying it. And I'm talking about human, right? Maybe I
okay,
should have just
yeah,
said it that way.
there you go.
He's human. We all have faults. We all
Yes,
fall, right? We all
yeah.
get played for the fool and bamboozled.
There
Some just
there
worse
are
than others.
moments. There are moments, and people just try to sit there and say, "Oh, I thought he was a good guy,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, strength is how you deal when times are tough, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
he showed a moment of weakness,
yeah.
right?
Well,
And his guilt for the last 20 years, 20 plus years, was to say, okay, let me make up for this
mhm.
and go extra
Yep,
hard
yep.
to prove to my wife that I love
I
her
am a
and she's
great,
all
good man. Yeah,
yeah. And so he went extra hard for over 20 straight years.
yeah,
To now all of a sudden this woman came back and just wiped out all the good that he did
yep,
over these last 20, 22 years. All the good that he's done has been wiped out like that.
yep, yep.
And now his reputation is trash. He's
Mhm.
nothing. He's not a good
No
man.
good,
Oh,
SOB and all these other
dude,
different things.
people change, dog.
And he made a mistake.
People
I
change.
a
Dog, I will never
loose mistake.
I will never sit there a day in my life and say that an affair is a mistake. You
Yeah,
don't trip and fall in the bed with somebody. Not
n-
carrying the one is a mistake.
not saying that.
Having
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
right.
getting in a relationship with somebody was a mistake.
Mhm.
He shouldn't have done that. Right.
It's thought out. I could
I'm not gonna
if
say
you
it's
sat there
not.
and if you sat there and went out to a bar less
Hmm.
and you had way too much to drink
Hmm.
and something happened.
Yeah. Was it a
That
mistake or was it?
that's not premeditated though.
It's not. It's not.
When
But
you sit there, but an affair is something that's premeditated, dog.
well, the affair is a continuation,
Yes,
right? I'm not going to say it's premeditated because see, premeditated means you thought about what you were going to do and then you carried
yes,
forward and went to go do it. But
yes. Because
a
here's the
one night
thing.
stand can lead to an affair.
Yes, yes.
So
Mhm.
that's not premeditated.
A one night stand, but you are aware of what you're doing, even if
Okay.
it is a one night stand. You're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, but
You
come on. I think we've been
so
too
you
critical on it
you
now.
have the faculties to know the difference between right and wrong.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
see, and you see what my thing is I guess in a sense you're right because you chose to go do that, you
Yes.
know. But
Yeah.
sometimes one night affairs just happen. It's not premeditated. You go out, you meet somebody, y'all vibe, things happen, and it happens. Now, whether you make the choice to continue to do it, that's a different situation,
Mm,
to me.
I I don't think the good guy ends in that category. The good guy is not putting himself in that category. Now,
The good guy is not. Again, I
good guy is
stress.
not putting himself there. Yeah.
I stress. I was in the 80s.
Right. So there's phases. Like I said, the younger phase,
younger phase,
and
yeah.
you know,
I
men
think you
will
got the number
change
too
over
low.
time.
Yeah, but anyway,
I think that men change over time.
They
right?
They do.
The
We
bad
really
boy
do.
can become the good guy, right?
Yeah.
So there are things. I will even take this to the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many pastors who I've met over the years, over years I've been on this earth, right?
Yeah.
That I've asked them, like, how did you get into this? And usually it's something that's happened in their life.
Everybody.
And where they make that revelation, they said, Lord, if you get me through this moment,
I'll give you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's what happens, right? They've changed, right? Not every pastor was born with a cross hanging out there behind.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. 100%.
So
I agree.
So a lot of them have that experience. It's same thing with a lot of the good guys. They've had most of them that are out there have had those experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
This man on the show, he had an experience. It was over 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
You know, he had a momentary lapse in judgment.
So, but what's a momentary lapse in judgment?
It's not a mistake.
What is it, an oversight? You want to call it something else? I mean,
it's
a lapse in judgment.
Yes, it's poor judgment. It's poor decision making at that particular time. It doesn't make him not a good guy.
It's
just at that particular time in
Mm-hmm.
his life, he was not in that good guy phase.
Yeah. Okay.
Something happened.
Yeah.
He tried to get through it. He put it behind him, and everything was good for 20 plus years. Now, all of a sudden, this woman showed up out the blue. Now it's brought everything up, and he's panicking because he's not trying to destroy his life, but it ends up getting destroyed anyway.
I was about to say that's over with, because if you was together with her when this happened, when all of this went down, that's 20 years of lying. That's how she's going to see it.
Yes.
It's 20 years of you being deceitful to me.
Yes. That's exactly what's happening.
Yep. That's 20 years of being deceitful. So, you know, no matter what you did during that time, it was to cover for what you did previously.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But sometimes things happen, you know.
Very true. Very true. Let's take it to the last word.
And now, the last word.
So I'll take this one this week.
I'll chime in, but go ahead.
Okay. So, Man Space Nation, I'm going to say it like this. Good guys don't always finish last. Sometimes we're just taking the scenic route with some better snacks and fewer regrets and a whole lot more peace. Yeah. You see, good guys, they're going to keep showing up with integrity, leading with kindness, and trusting that their time is coming. Because when the dust really settles in all of it, character outlasts clout.
Yes.
So you can't chase clout. Mm-hmm. But good guys, stay within your character, stay solid, stay true, and don't forget to stretch, you know, because simply, I don't know. I mean, my birthday was last week. I'm not as young as I used to be. Stuff hurts when I get out of bed in the morning now.
They say old dogs don't need to stretch. You ever see the dog stretch? You know,
bruh, you know, walking a little bit slower than I did back in the day. I'm like, dang.
Oh, well, all you can do is say, I'm blessed. I made it another year. And gives me more opportunity to do some more things that I want to do.
Yes.
That's it, man. That's all you can do. Is be blessed about that thing.
That's
But
right.
you know, it is what it is.
And let's go to break. As we do each week, we like to close the show with just a little bit of inspiration. We live in a world that is constantly telling us who to be, how to act, and knowing your worth. You see, knowing your value isn't just important, it's essential. Your value isn't tied to your job, your bank account, or how many likes you get on social media. It's found in your character, your consistency, and the quiet strength you bring to the people around you. Too often, we measure our worth by what others say or what they see. But the truth is, your value comes from within you. It's within the lessons you've learned, the storms you've survived, and the love that you give even when it's hard. Knowing your value means not settling for less than what you deserve, not at work, in relationships, or even how you speak to yourself. It means walking away from people, places, and things that don't serve your purpose and standing firm on what does. So, Manspace Nation, take a moment to remind yourself, you matter, your voice matters, and your presence matters.
Well, I
You
tell
matter.
you matter. You matter,
You-
sir. Your voice matters, sir.
And your presence matters less.
See, that's why we friends, man.
Yes.
We matter.
We matter. We matter.
Oh, we crack
I mean,
each other. We crack ourselves up.
But I think that's the essence of this episode, man. Is with the good guy, it's knowing your value and what you bring to the table. Because
Knowing you
you know,
matter.
yeah, there's a lot of times as a good guy, people are not going to see that. They're going to
Right.
see you as boring. They're going to see you as
Yeah.
the
Stay
not
off, or-
adventurous type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Not-
you are not gonna be enough for them.
You're safe.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's the word. Safe.
Yeah.
Yes. You are the safe target.
Yeah.
20%. I don't know, bro. 80.
Yeah. Manspace Nation, catch us 2 days early on WTMSTV.com on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And then on Thursday nights at 8 p.m., you can catch Throwback Thursdays with the Manspace podcast of back to back to back to back episodes every Thursday night. The best of the man space with episodes and episodes and episodes and episodes. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, WTMSTV.com. Unless, would you like to add anything else to this show?
I love you and thank you. Every day. Not you, them. You too, though, but them more than you.
And on that note,
We out of here.
thank you for listening to this episode of The Man Space.
Whichever platform you listen to us on, make sure you subscribe and don't miss a show.
Remember to keep up with all the Man Space updates on our website, themanspacepodcast.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram at manspacenat1.
Until next time, Man Space Nation, he's Les, I am Russ, and we are out of here.
Tommy! Tommy! You killed it, my brother. He was my only brother. I loved it, this dude, baby. And you gonna pay, jive, sucker. You done messed with the wrong dude, baby.